MAZI Nnamdi Kanu have been punished beyond the court judgment. Ngwa, listen to this important article before me. Ngwa, in fact, calm down, go very cozy. Happy weekend to you all once again. TGIF, thank God it is Friday. It shall be well with all of us. Punished beyond the court. How the Nigerian state is using distance to break MAZI Nnamdi Kanu and also to stop him from going to appeal. You see, these people have this strategy. Tinubu is sending delegates to go to beg MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, and at the same time, they don't want him to go to appeal, knowing fully well that the people that are involved in this appeal, one day, if I mention the number of judges that have drafted the appeal of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, both serving judges and the retired judges, my brother, you go command cap for this guy. You go no say, man, you know, baboons, they are having sleepless night. You know why? They said, how can somebody they are celebrating his conviction is being visited by prominent men in the country, men that matters. The ones they know, if they tell you dignity is going to see MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, both from the northern side, from the southern side, either southwest, southeast, or south, or northeast, northwest, and north central, my brother, you go also come out for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. But this torture is just to force him to put hand to paper on that nonsense they have drafted, they called presidential pardon. That thing they did to Fubara that made him to now singing praises of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, jumping to the bandwagon even after spending 6 months. It's exactly what they want to do to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. But you know, I say only one and bara buruburu ne change yanje. The gaman don't gallant to say say whatever that want to happen, as long as I know that my conviction is fake. Conviction of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is fake. They just hurry up, deliver this justice, whether in his present or his absent. You send somebody out of courtroom and then you deliver judgment. Anyway, let me read the article before you here, and then we come back for more discussion. Please, let me also make this announcement very clear. For my Angry Bird lovers, me too, I'm an Angry Bird, so don't get it twisted. In any headline you see on this message, please don't complain. Just watch the message from beginning to the end. You will learn a lot. And you will understand why I always use sometimes a headline that look like controversial is just to draw your attention. When they come close, every message that I published, where even if your head is blocked like a block industry, my brother, you must learn something from it. So don't get infuriated each time you see headline and you went into the message. It sounds another different thing. The headline is to bring your attention close. I have been watching, even before I begin to speak about Biafra, I have been watching people's news, videos, both online and offline, both reading and everything. The headline they give sometimes is not tally with what is in it, but I wouldn't complain because watching it will make me to learn more things. That is how it is. Are you hearing me now, my people? Please, let me compare on your banner. Okay. Punished beyond the court. How the Nigerian state is using distance to break MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. This statement sets out plainly and without euphemism what Nigerian authorities have sought to obscure with the administrative language. Please, before I forget, follow us on all our social media handles, and my God will most surely follow you to solve all your problems. Emphasis on all your problems. Following the sentencing of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment, the state imposed an additional punishment, one never ordered by any court, by transferring him to Sokoto, more than 700 kilometers away from his legal team in Abuja. This transfer was neither accidental nor routine. It was punishment by design. This is what MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is passing through. The punishment is going through inside that dungeon called Correctional Center. The life sentence deprives Kanu of liberty, but the transfer to Sokoto deprives him of justice by relocating him to a distant correctional facility. The state has deliberately erected a physical barrier between him and his lawyers, effectively undermining his right to appeal. And this is not correctional management. It is judicial interference executed through geography. We reject the suggestion that this move was administrative or beginning, because no public security justification has been offered and no urgency necessitated it. What the transfer has achieved, however, is unmistakable. Isolation, distance has been weaponized as a tool of repression, transforming geography into an extension of punishment. The law is clear. The right to legal representation is not symbolic. It must be effective, contentious, and practical. When a detainee is placed hundreds of kilometers away from his defense team, that right collapses in practice, and in law, it is a right denied. On December 8 of 2025, the Fulani High Court in Abuja was presented with an opportunity to halt this abuse. An urgent application was filed seeking MAZI Nnamdi Kanu transfer to a facility closer to the country's capital, Kuje, Suleja, or Kefi, where his legal team could reasonably assess him. Unfortunately, the court declined to grant immediate relief, but instead adjourned the matter to January 27, 2026, so that the 90 days is going to elapse. In the context of a life sentence, such delay is indefensible. Postponement here is not neutral. Every day of enforced distance is another day in which the state succeed in weakening the appeal process. Delay. In this instance, it is not merely procedural, it is punitive. Let me pause here before I continue. Alex Oti went to Sokoto. So does it mean that Alex Oti don't know that Nnamdi Kanu is very far away from his lawyers? So Alex Oti don't know that for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to appeal his case, knowing fully well that he have already tell all his legal representatives to step down, that he will do the matter. He will do the case by himself. And as he stands now, he is the one that needs to go to the court to ascertain all the whole documents that he needed, and also to then appeal his case. So Alex Oti cannot work for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to be transferred to Abuja, even if he cannot release him. And yet tomorrow somebody will tell me that Alex Oti is working. God will punish that short man. Now me talk him. God must punish that short man. He went there to persuade MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to sign the documents on a ground of presidential pardon, that he will never ever talk about anything Biafra. In fact, he can't even give a reasonable advice to anybody agitating for Biafra as a leader. That is one of part of the conditions they put in a writing and tell MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to sign, and he said over his dead body. That is what Alex Oti went to Abuja to persuade him. When he failed, he go and rest. Now they have used Bishop Matthew Hassan Koka as a Christian, and also as a pastor, as a bishop, or as a reverend. Let him go there and then preach Bibles to him and give him instances to convince him on the reason why he must sign those documents. We are waiting, because last, whatever they discuss must come out in play. So back to Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's governor. If we are to choose that Nnamdi Kanu now, belong to the zoo. So Alex Oti could not secure the transfer of his own subject to Abuja, where he can at least quietly appeal his case. And they look as big and as secured Kuje prison is. They say that place is not secure to house MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. As what? You have the most deadliest criminals, terrorists in Kuje prison. They never escape. Nobody have gone there to release them. It's only MAZI Nnamdi Kanu that have never committed anything. is worthy to be sent far away from his lawyers, from his families, and also from him not to have right, or rather, not to have the chance to appeal his case. All the Igbo politicians, one after the other, all the whole politicians, both the ones supporting them, both the ones online and offline, if this will not happen, make I know what you cause them. These people are wicked. These people are terribly wicked. A governor for that matter who have immunity. So if you can travel all the way from other state to Sokoto, they won't stop you to tell Tunumbu. In fact, don't ask for his release. Call Tunumbu to order or whoever in charge of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case to transfer him to Abuja. Instead of on December 8th, they're supposed to grant him that favor. They have to shift it. Knowing fully well that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have 90 days, which is 3 months, to appeal his case. 20th of September. 20th of November, when the judgment was given. The appeal have already started counting. So 20th of November to 20th of this December is 1 month. Then from 20th of December to 20th of January, 2 months have gone, remain only 30 days. So in that 30 days, minus 7 days, which is 27th, they adjourned the case. And there's no any possibility, or there's no guarantee that on that 27th that this thing will be granted. Even if they grant it, I can tell you for free of charge, they will tell you administrative papers and arrangement will take the whole time. And then they will tell you the time of your appeal have elapsed. So there's no point you going to Abuja. This is the strategic style they want to use to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never appeal this case, because they know already the people that is involved in this case, Nnamdi Kanu go for appeal. Any judge that is going to say that he's going to affirm the judgment of the High Court will be, hey, God have mercy. Anyway, let me continue. By keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison, the Nigerian state is imposing punishment beyond that ordered by the court. This violates the Nigerian constitution and contravenes international human rights standards that guarantee adequate facility for the preparation of a defense. Punishment ends where judgment ends. Anything beyond that constitutes excesses, and excesses punishment is unlawful. Justice does not fear access. Justice does not hide defendants from their lawyers. When a state resorts to isolation after conviction, it signals not confidence in its case, but anxiety about scrutiny. Concealing a prisoner from counsel is not an expression of strength. It is an admission of fear. We therefore state, without reservation, that the transfer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Sokoto prison is not a correctional decision. It is an extrajudicial penalty imposed without hearing, without transparency, and without legal authority. For this reason, we call on international human rights bodies, legal observers, and all institutions committed to due process to treat this matter with the seriousness it demands. The adjournment into 2026 must not be normalized. Distance must not be permitted to become a silent instrument of injustice. A state that punishes beyond the law ceases to act as a custodian of justice and begins to resemble its adversary. Justice exiled is justice denied. Any justice that they send to exile has amount to justice that they have already denied. If you are hearing this message and you are a Biafran, or rather when you see this message, you just listen to it and throw away face. Make I not use bad word. Make I not use bad word because I am infuriated already. I am agitated. In fact, I am angry in my spirit. Look at what they are doing to a human being like an animal. Look at how they are treating a human being, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, like an animal. And all the whole Igbos, everybody was calm. How many of them have ever come out to speak about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal? How many of them can even say, oh, federal government, okay, you have been praising him, fine and good. But can you give him space? Or give him, a playing ground for him to appeal his case? How many of them? It's not even the Alex Oti. The only thing we keep hearing, right from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention since he assumed office, is that we are working on the ground. As I said yesterday, Anytime you hear our Saudi politicians saying we are working on the ground for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu release, my brother, cry for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu because they are working on the ground to send him to 6 feet. That is what it means. I repeat, that is what it means. Anyway, let me end it here. And I go see my voice again when I come back. Please help me circulate this message. I am very, very angry.